Hello, live from Denver. It is Friday night. Let's make sure, yep, all is well. Welcome, critics, to another episode of Critical Conversations, the show where you get to talk to us, we get to talk to you. You get to rant, we get to rant. It's all a good time. And I am joined, as always, by my beautiful wife, Melissa.
Hello.
And as you can see, we are in the Halloween spirit.
We didn't get as dressed up as before, but I put on a cape.
Yes, yes. And as you can see, I have my Halloween costume on. I actually do have a better Halloween costume this year. We went out and actually got costumes for the Halloween party we're going to this weekend.
Yep.
And in fact, can you grab that real fast?
Yeah.
I want to I'll show you guys how ridiculous this is. I got a I guess you could say Satan-inspired costume this year. So this is my Satan stick. And I'm quite, you can sit down.
Okay, I didn't know if you
I was going to put it over here. So anyway, so this is part of my costume. So you can imagine it will be a, hell of a good time this weekend. Okay, so having a good time with that. And, okay, good, everybody. Looks like we're coming in. Yep, we are in costume. Also, now we are going to check in with our little seven.
Kitty.
So there he is. There's our 7 Cam back in action this week. Thanks to Mel. She did some great work getting this. And I just put the whole shot in because it's just the whole kitty. And anyway, so there he is up on his tower of power in our living room.
Yeah.
That's where he sits majestically and gazes down on the rest of us lowly peon humans and demands
sacrifices and stuff.
Yeah, ritual sacrifice and appeasement. So so we there's our little bundle of joy. So we will check back in with 7 during the show here. Hey everybody, how you guys doing this week? How was your week? I hope it was good. Seeing you guys in the comments here. Happy everybody. All the usual suspects are here. Oh, there's Xenu. Excellent. Yes. 7 in a cat costume. That's right. We didn't think to dress him.
Yeah, he's got
up.
a cape. I have a cape for him somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what you gonna do? Sometimes you remember, sometimes you don't.
Yep.
But anyway, what a week, huh? What an interesting week. The topic this week, of course, is Facebook Meta. Apparently, their new rebranding. We're going to talk about the ridiculousness of that. I wanted to kind of keep it a little light because I can get really ranty and serious and angry and stuff about that stuff too. But it's Friday. It's the end of the week. Let's chill. But it is all a little ludicrous, and I have a pretty interesting article Slate published that I'd want to read from at some point during the show here today. But we will get to that. First, though, Halloween.
Yeah.
Halloween weekend. I hope you guys have your trick-or-treats and your candy ready
Your
and
parties
everything.
planned. And
Yeah, I mean, are we doing trick-or-treating this year with COVID and all that? I don't know.
I don't know. I know
is that happening?
last year it was taboo kind of, but I don't know about this year.
Yeah, I mean, we're apartment dwellers, and so we haven't really experienced trick-or-treating.
I'm a little nervous we might this year because there's so many kids around here.
There are a lot of kids here, so we might. And whatever, we can get a
Bag of candy for
bag of
them.
candy or whatever. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Actually, I don't know that I've ever passed out Halloween candy before. I'm sitting here thinking about it. Not since I was a kid.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've actually ever done the Halloween thing.
It's been a long time for me, but I've passed out candy. I've done the trick-or-treating.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly did trick-or-treating when I was a kid. I loved trick-or-treating. Loved dressing up. Loved it. Hey, Michelle, I see your comment here about reading my book. Thank you. In fact, I was going to bring it out because I wanted to let everybody know this book does exist. I did write it, and it is out there, and it's still very, very good book. Very, very accurate. It's all about Scientology. As you can see, Scientology, A to Xenu. So just thought I'd pimp that for a second because I actually pulled from the book this week in the podcast that is posting tomorrow. I'll just let you guys know the podcast is about, it's a little bit about academia, well, a lot about academia, and a little bit about the direction my professional life might go following my degree and the work I'm going to be doing. Not sure yet. I mean, it's not like I've got a job or something as far as that goes. And I'm never going to, I don't know that I ever really want to stop doing this stuff.
Yeah.
But I, I'm sticking a flag in the ground, a stake in the ground, whatever. I'm drawing a line in the sand with these academics who are constantly pimping for the cults. And I should be, as an academically minded person, I don't want to call myself an academic. I've done that a couple times, probably not accurate. But as an academically minded person, I should be, I want to be objective. I want to see where they're coming from. I want to engage with their arguments. So this isn't about them as individuals, but in the podcast, I did name names. I managed to avoid any personal insults, but I did name some names about these guys because this has been going on for a long time. It actually is a problem, and maybe I can't save the world, but maybe I can do something about this. And maybe that's a realistic goal that I could direct my attention and my intellect to, and maybe change the course of that, or try to, because there's a few things at stake with that. It's not just about academics and papers and books. It's about court record. It's about court cases. It's about expert testimony in court cases, like Scientology related cases and other court cases. It's about public perception. It's about learning and education and knowledge and how we think about high control groups. Because when we think about them as new religious movements that should just get a pass because they're just like Christianity or Islam or Judaism, when they're really not, then we're perpetuating lies and we're actually enabling abusers to continue abusing people. Mm-hmm. And that's what I don't want to be any part of, and I want to push back on. So that is what that's about. Thanks, Hey Hun, for that. And Alex, thank you very much for that super chat. Yes, whistleblower Frances Haugen is in Europe right now. That's right. She's going to talk with German politicians of the new government. The EU is zooming in on Facebook. That is awesome.
Good.
Awesome, because we're going to talk about that. They need to. There have been some revelations that have confirmed and reinforced and added more information to what we already heard or thought we knew about from the Social Dilemma documentary that we were talking about months ago, and other analysis and publications about social media and the damage that social media can do psychologically and socially. It's not all bad. It's not all wrong. It's not all evil. It doesn't even necessarily need to be destroyed. That's not necessarily my argument that down with all social media and but the way it's done is really, really wrong, and it's really damaging, and they know it, we know it, and I think we've gotten enough time and enough research done now that the pushback has some teeth now. It's not just people going, I don't know if this is so good for everybody. It's actual, no, here's
evidence.
It's evidence, it's statistics, it is studies, it is, and the revelations from this week, of course, with Facebook were that these were internal documents. Research was done inside Facebook by Facebook researchers who said we're doing bad stuff, and apparently to be very reductionist and simple about this. And those reports and studies and work was basically ignored or buried. And so we did not get that. And we got spin and spin and more spin. And just to let you guys know, I mean, just as a data point with Facebook, what I just read from The Guardian, Facebook made, okay, I am flummoxed right now. I am really, really like blown away by this. I actually still can't quite believe how this could be true. But Facebook, as an entity, as a corporation, the income last year, 1 year's income last year was $29 billion with a B as in boy, billion, $29 billion. That is absurd. I mean, with money like that on the line, that kind of income, you're talking about people, Zuckerberg, other investors, other interests connected with that kind of money, who will do anything, say anything, do anything to protect that.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where we're at, right? And these are people with unbelievable power. Unbelievable. I mean, it's hard to grasp because we only think about it mostly in terms of our area, our locality, our geography, our country. American Facebook, that's who we interact with for the most part, or maybe English Facebook for us English speakers. But think for a moment that Facebook is just as prominent, just as much positioned, and just as important in
all over the place.
Other countries. That's right. I mean, not in China. They have their own Facebook, but they, which should kind of tell you something. But India, these other, lots of Africa, South America, Mexico. I mean, all these countries riddled with Facebook too, and similar levels of, or even worse, levels of civil unrest and problems and other issues that Facebook causes. So anyway, so let's go ahead and get into that a little bit. Yeah, you're making some good points here in the comments here about how young people are kind of skipping Facebook now or getting off of there.
They are, yeah.
And
there's a lot of 30s and up, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's true. But before we get into the facts and figures, I took I'm announcing this as, it's a big thing. This is newsworthy. I need to tell you. I quit Facebook this week. I mean, we were going to do this before Meta came out. We were going to do this show. I was like, we should talk about this in terms of leaving Facebook, leaving social media behind. And I just made the plunge. I took the plunge because these whistleblower revelations, this last round of them, was kind of my final straw. I mean, Social Dilemma was really, it was already, after that, I really curbed.
So eye-opening, yeah.
Yeah, super. And the Social Dilemma, by the way, if you guys don't know, it's a documentary. You can find it on Netflix. And it has some tech insiders and people who used to work inside Facebook and other social media analysts talking very, very directly about the psychological damage and how and why. Why does that happen? Why do we have psychological problems from Facebook? Well, they explain it. It's the algorithms. It's the computer and the way that it dishes information to you and the way that it presents information and the way that it curves information and the likes and the shares and the emojis and all this other weird stuff that we get into causes neurochemical problems and emotional problems. And I mean, there's the social, the bullying and the image problems and the shaming, all that kind of crap that goes on in real life. But it's exacerbated, it's blown up, it's exaggerated on social media because now you don't just get to get bullied by the 2 or 3 bullies in the schoolyard or the 5 or 6 people you need to avoid at your high school or your college. Now you can get a pile on from 20 different people in 20 different countries piling onto you.
You say the wrong thing, like that thing we were watching where that woman said that it was a little, like we were saying, in bad taste, but she was barely known by anybody, and then all of a sudden she blew up.
Yeah.
Because of that.
That's
and
right.
was being bullied by people, and it's like...
Exactly. And the problem, of course, with this is, yes, bad people do say bad things and should experience consequences for their actions. But what about all those cases, and there are way too many of them, where a person posted an innocuous joke, an innocuous comment, no ill intent,
right?
No racism, no sexism, no misogyny, just people misunderstand. You post a sort of generalized or silly comment or something, people take it the wrong way.
Yeah.
It gets spun the wrong way. And people's lives have been ruined over this. I mean, really, really impactful stuff. Because when you're getting piled on by, the internet, it's scary, So I got off... I got off Facebook permanently. And the main reason why I was scared to do that is basically because of my reach to you guys, to the people, the audience out there, or potential audiences. I have posted all my content on Facebook for years, and now I'm not doing that. Now I'm only using Twitter, so I'm posting my content to Twitter. And of course, YouTube is considered social media, but I think of YouTube as content delivery more so than I think of it as social media. I don't know. I guess it's classified officially as social media, but I don't think of it the same way. I certainly don't engage on YouTube the same way I do on Twitter or how I did on Facebook.
Like every once in a while, you might find yourself in the comments they're saying something, but not like with Facebook where it's just like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Bud's asking, isn't Facebook used as a scapegoat by politicians that want to frame people not wanting to get the vaccine on people claiming wrong information about vaccines? I don't know that's a scapegoat. Let me see if I understand that question.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out too.
Isn't Facebook used as a scapegoat by politicians that want to frame people not wanting to get the vaccine, claiming wrong information about vaccines? But I think you're asking me on Facebook, you're talking about so you're saying politicians are scapegoating Facebook because they say Facebook is promoting false information about vaccines? I think that's what you're asking, and I don't know that that's a scapegoat because that has happened. People have promoted false information to an enormous extent on social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. And these platforms have had to clamp down on that because it is such blatantly false information that it actually is, if you were to listen and act on it, you could end up seriously hurting yourself or even dying. So so that's a legit reason to curb that kind of misinformation or disinformation that gets spread around. But I don't know. I mean, as far as politicians scapegoating or blaming it, I mean, there has been blame. I think I'm safe. I think it's a fairly non-controversial statement to say Facebook has gotten it right sometimes and wrong many other times. So we can point to examples of both, I suppose. But I'm looking more today at the sort of the bigger picture, the negative effect of it psychologically. I'm not a sociologist. I'm doing a degree in psychology. I'm very tuned in psychologically, and that's where my concerns with social media come in. I am very, very concerned about the social aspects of it and the misinformation and the propaganda campaigns and stuff that happen there. But I think of those on an individual level more so than I think about them on a population scale size. Unless we start talking about Cambridge Analytica and voter manipulation and stuff like that, which Facebook's also apparently guilty of, or at least selling information that enables other companies like Cambridge Analytica to do that kind of manipulative work, right? Brexit was possibly or partially a product of this, the interfering in our elections and other countries' elections. I mean, this is not good stuff to be getting involved in. And Zuckerberg doesn't seem to have, I don't know. He just doesn't seem to think about things like that. Whatever agenda he's operating on, it's not what we all would necessarily think of it is.
It's just some kind of power hungry thing. I mean, it's all it is with a lot of these billionaires. I'm not going to say all of them. Maybe that's not fair, but they have billions of dollars. Why do they keep needing more money? And it's just like they want that power that brings. So of course Mark Zuckerberg is just going to keep doing stuff that gives him more and more power. Yeah,
exactly. And that power hunger. I mean, because when you're talking about an income for your company of $29 billion in a year.
Wow.
And that's just last year. I mean, obviously the lead up to that, ever more increasing profits. I mean, these are obscene amounts of money. This is money no one person, no group could ever hope to
spend.
Spend that much money. I don't know. I don't even know how I can't even think with figures like that. $29 billion.
I'd be fine with 29 million.
Right? I mean, these are just insane. And then in the face of these revelations that are coming out, we have this spin. And I wanted to go over what some of these revelations were because I thought you guys might be interested if you haven't checked them out. The woman who is running around right now over in Europe, who also testified in front of Congress here, her name is Frances Haugen. I hope I'm getting that last name right. It's Haugen. And she left Facebook in May, and this is that Guardian article I'm reading from. It says she left in May with a cache of memos and research that have exposed the inner workings of the company and the impact its platforms have on users. They started posting these stories about these documents in September. Now we have governments getting testimony about this. And basically what we're looking at with this recent round of revelations from this whistleblower is not only the content. Apparently she's dumped like thousands of pages of studies and internal documents that are still being gone through. This is a tremendous act of whistleblowing. There's a tremendous amount of stuff to go through. And this isn't my thing. I'm not going through those documents. I'm just reading what other people are analyzing. But it's confirming already with what I've read. We're already getting confirmation from their internal documents and studies of everything that was talked about in the social dilemma and that we have been fearful about. For example, as one example of this, let me read this to you. Here's what we learned from the documents since the revelations first broke last month. Teenage mental health. This was this was highlighted in the social dilemma that young women or girls on Instagram, on Facebook, on social media platforms were more targeted, were statistically speaking more depressed, more anxious, worse off mentally, right, or psychologically as a result of using the platforms, and the numbers are scary. The most damaging revelations focused on Instagram's impact on the mental health and well-being of teenage girls. One piece of internal research showed that for teenage girls already having hard moments, quote unquote, 1 in 3 found Instagram made body issues worse. A further slide shows that 1 in 3 people who were finding social media use problematic found Instagram made it worse, with 1 in 4 saying it made issues with social comparison worse.
Yep.
And we saw statistically that this was leading to a rise in depression, prescription medications, anxiety. So there are real world consequences to this. It's not, I felt a little bad because somebody made me, said a bad word to me.
Yeah.
We're talking about like coercive control. Social media is not damaging because you go on it once or twice or 3 times. It's
the repetitiveness. Yeah.
It's the repetition. And it's hard to, it's hard. It seems harder for people to think with this somehow. Like they go, he killed him, so therefore he's a bad person.
Yeah.
But, if you slowly kill somebody over 10 years, it's okay. What's the problem, right? They get a pass.
Well, and it just, for whatever reason, it gets us to be so awful to each other. And we say the meanest things to each other on Facebook and other social media, and that's not good for anybody's mental health either. Exactly.
So, okay, as far as what about TikTok, I'm just looking at some of these. Okay, good. Just going back up here. I was trying to influence them to censor more when they didn't reach their vaccination goals. Oh, Bud123, I see what he's saying. Okay, can't really comment on that. Don't know. I don't have personal knowledge of the head of the NIH and Biden administration trying to influence Facebook to censor more when they didn't reach their vaccination goals. That's interesting to me. I probably would have reached out to Facebook if I was in Biden's administration and said, could you please knock off the spread of disinformation? I don't know that that's a bad thing necessarily. I get that somebody could look at that and think the government's pushing censorship, and that could be difficult from a government position in terms of First Amendment. But you also have the public health crisis situation here, and that's a balancing act, and it's a tough one. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying that there's easy answers. What I am saying is that we have a public health crisis of magnitude.
Yeah. Get vaccinated.
And yeah, so that's that. As far as X-Cyan asked about TikTok, what my concerns with TikTok from the very beginning was this Chinese-owned company, and China is really into spying. Not that America's not, but I mean, China's really into it. Like it's not the same thing. China's actually significantly worse. So that's why I've kind of avoided TikTok. I mean, not that I'm really super concerned about the Chinese government or the CCP giving a shit about me, because I don't think they're ever going to. But on the other hand,
if they can find a way in, they'll find a way in, whoever it is.
Yeah. So, yeah. And it is a little annoying. That is for sure. Call sign Maverick there. Okay. So, but I know, the CCP conversation in China is a deeper and much more nuanced and difficult conversation to have. So I'm just sort of throwing off little bits and pieces here. Hey, it's 6:30. We should take a break and check back in with 7.
Yay.
Let's check back in with 7. There he is.
Aww,
tail swishing.
Tail.
There they go.
Oh, what does he see?
Aw.
He's so cute.
Our little bundle of furry joy. I still really like that OT7 thing too. I think that's cute. our little boy.
He's so awesome.
He is. He's been a little sick this week. We're hoping he gets better.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been a little upset stomach, little tummy.
Poor guy.
Yeah, there we go. Let's check in with 7. There we go. Okay, so I wanted to share something else with you guys about this, because this Slate article was pretty good. I just read this. This was just posted today at noon, and this is not a full reflection of my beliefs. There are a couple things here that I disagree with, but I wanted to read this and go over this with you guys because I thought that this kind of summarized more about this that I'm experiencing, and maybe maybe you guys are a little bit too. And I thought this was a little insightful on this point, and that's why I wanted to go over it with you. So I'm just going to shamelessly read from this article and share it with you guys.
All right.
It says here, so this is, the name of the article is The Horror That Is Facebook. And this is a Slate article, which I will actually, no, right, not that. Don't want to do that. Never mind. There we go. Okay. I'm using a Mac here because my laptop died. It bricked. It's totally gone now. So I'm using Mel's, and I'm not used yet to the command key. So
yeah, they're a little different.
Yeah, a little bit different.
Just because Mac wants to be hard.
Yeah.
Apple.
But I'm going to copy paste the link in the comments there. I just put the link to this article if you guys want to check it out for yourselves. I won't read the whole thing. It's not that long. Lily Loofborough wrote this. And like I said, there's some things here that are a little insightful. So let me do this. The feeling has come slowly, I'm sorry to say. I wish I'd been quicker on the uptake, but now it's here and it's overwhelming. I'm depressed about Facebook. Not the idiotic rebrand, as blatant an effort to interrupt bad publicity as I've ever had the pleasure of observing, and not the site itself, which I don't use anymore. Twitter does a good enough job making me unhappy. I literally, this is exactly where I'm living, right? It's not even the barrage of recent revelations about exactly how much Facebook itself knew about its destructive effects, or how determinedly it incentivized divisive content anyway. That's all bad, and the geopolitical implications of a corporation that started off ranking girls' hotness and is now capable of swaying elections in multiple countries are dire. But they're not even what I mean. What's hitting me just now is the grim story all this tells about the human spirit, or whatever. How flattening, how insulting to whatever we humans hubristically imagine ourselves to be, that we're all so obviously vulnerable to these algorithms. that our feelings and convictions are this easy to manipulate,
Yep.
that the shape of our day can be affected by a choice as vapid as someone deciding to weight the angry emoji 5 times more than the others because it maximizes engagement.
Wow.
This last is so monstrously stupid as a damning revelation that I almost can't bear it. What forces brought us to a place where this counts as major news and must, because the effects of the angry emoji are humiliatingly undeniable? A few weeks ago, I spent some time looking at the Herman Cain Awards, a subreddit dedicated to documenting anti-vaxxers' COVID cases as told through their Facebook posts. One of the many things it proves is the extent to which Facebook shapes not just lives, but deaths.
Ugh.
The revelations in the Facebook papers are insulting even to our divisions, which I have formerly preferred to think of as principled or philosophical, or at least rooted in something other than dopamine hits from shares and likes. But reporting on Facebook confirms the extent to which Facebook doesn't just reflect our polarization, it drives it. I've read all this before, of course, but I found it hard to really take the measure of it without succumbing to its absurdity. Facebook? Which Sex and the City character are you, Facebook?
Uh-huh.
Repository of vacation photos, Facebook? The place that made poking your friends an option and it's complicated a relationship status? This is the site that's destroying us, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is what's radicalizing the world?
Yep.
Desperate to reassure myself that ours is not the only stupid time in history, I've been revisiting the history of the Church of England. And she then talks about Henry VIII and how he created the Church of England because he wanted to screw Anne Boleyn, right? And wanted to have his way. And how many people had to die because of that? How many lives were ruined because of the Church of England, because of Henry's hubris, right? And that pales in comparison to what we see with Facebook.
So the thing
Yeah.
you said about that she said about the vaccine page, are you saying that it was pro-vaccination people doing a Facebook page about the anti-vax people that died? Or was it something else?
No, it was anti-vaxxers' COVID cases as told through their Facebook posts. There was a subreddit where they were highlighting that people who got COVID who were anti-vax, and their series of Facebook posts showing how they went from, don't get vaccinated, don't get masked, don't get this.
Oh God, I'm dying.
To
Yeah, okay.
holy shit, I'm dying, and I wish
Yeah.
I'd never said that before. I believe that that's what this was as
Okay.
as the subreddit, and it showed how Facebook had actually driven these people into
that mindset.
that when you look at case after case after case after case of people using social media, getting information that is disinformation, making important medical and personal choices based on that disinformation, and then literally dying or almost dying as a result of that, that's when we look to the platform itself as perhaps a causative agent in this and not just a medium through which information is flowing.
I mean, it's like, and even when you're talking about other health issues, there's so much misinformation out there about all kinds of different diseases and conditions that, basically begging you to not pay attention to your doctors and do things that will actually help you and do things that will cause you great harm.
Exactly.
In the name of it's natural.
Exactly. Henny asked, the name of the author is Lily Loughborough. I think I'm pronouncing that right. And you can link to the article. I put it in the comments section so you guys can check it out. R.R. Smith, thank you for that awesome super chat towards a new laptop. Thank you very much. Oh, I have not thought of an Amazon wish list. Maybe I should do that.
Yeah.
We use Amazon wish lists internally in our family, but I've never thought about publishing one. Okay, you're giving me ideas. Okay. So now we get into what I wanted to comment on a little bit more, which is Facebook's future planning.
Oh God, yeah.
Because this is it's not just a PR spin to try to deflect attention away from this whistleblower. Clearly, Mark Zuckerberg has been working dedicatedly to push his company in the direction where they're going to be the owners of virtual reality. That's what they're trying to do. They purchased Oculus as a device, as a company, so that they could own that. Oculus is a decent product. I have 2 friends who have them. They love playing virtual reality games. There's the possibility now of moving into the VR realm to do business meetings, office, professional stuff. I guess I didn't watch it, but Zuckerberg put a video out talking about this Meta thing and how the conversion over from Meta is that there's this Meta universe and you can select avatars and present yourself how you want. And this is the way that we're going to communicate with people. And quite honestly,
the thing I saw was saying that they wanted to do all this stuff that's like totally scary. You know, they're like, we want to be able to have something in your mind that'll just let you post your thoughts. You know?
Yeah, I mean, these guys
what?
are. Yeah, it's really, really, really crazy stuff. Okay, so Bud123 asked, do the stories about the worst of Facebook accurately reflect a normal experience of people on Facebook? Yes, it does. That's the point. However, what I've run into over and over and over again, and I totally get it, is not everybody is having a bad experience with it, right? Or they don't think they are.
Right.
And this is the thing about manipulation. And you know, all I can do is share my own experience with you guys and hope that I'm doing some good. You know, when I got out of Scientology, it floored me. I mean, it stupefied me. Well, how stupid I had been. How many things were right in front of my face, all 27 years that I was involved with it, that I ignored, that I explained away, that I rationalized, justified, or just didn't have a clue about. Never touched it, never went near it, never saw it for what it was. There's a long list of things. And you go, well, Scientology, destructive cult, obviously, duh, you know. But I'm trying to comment not about the destructive cult aspect of it. I'm trying to say that I'm a smart person. I'm a critical thinker. I am well-read. I'm not, you know, I'm not overly naive, I don't think.
No.
I am a little naive, but not overly so. And I'm able to engage with people. I'm able to have deep conversations with people. I'm able to see things pretty deeply. And I completely missed the boat on every aspect of Scientology for decades. So I have to own that now, right? I have to tell you guys, I was an idiot. I was totally blind, deaf, and dumb to the overt, blatant manipulation that was happening to me in Scientology. I have since that time gone way out of my way, as well as many other people have. Steve Hassan, for example, Janja Lalich, for example, like many ex-cult members, not just me, have come out of those situations and went, not only do I want to understand what the hell just happened to me, but I want to understand this so I can educate other people so they don't fall for it too. And so you learn, you know, when you get fooled, you know, how much you can get fooled, how obvious the problems can be, but you just don't see them because you don't want to or because you just don't see them. And I want to stress here with Facebook that it's the same. Same. There are things being done to you on that platform you do not know, are not aware of, could not be aware of because it's all internal. It's hidden. You don't know what you don't know. You can't see what's not being shown to you. And it's the omitted, it's the what you don't see, what you don't know about these platforms and their terms of service and the invasiveness of it that is the most shocking and damaging parts of it, right? And for example, you can now finally, you know, you can get those downloads of all the things that Facebook knows about you. I did that before I left the platform.
Oh yeah, how was that?
You would not believe how much tracking is occurring of you off of Facebook.
Oh, right. You know, like on Google and
everywhere.
Yeah.
They're keeping tabs on you everywhere you're going and everything you're doing. Facebook had information on me about my shopping habits, about my travel habits, about who I was communicating with outside of Facebook.
Wow.
I mean, loads of data. I didn't want Facebook to have that information as a corporation.
No.
I don't remember telling them, yeah, sure, go right ahead. But of course, I didn't read that long-ass legalese terms of service either. And that's how they got us. That's how they got all of us, because they said, hey, it's free, you know?
They need to make some kind of thing where it's like those terms and conditions can't be so complicated to understand and be so freaking long. Like, they just need to be simplified so every idiot can understand it, and it's just like, here's the deal, yes or no.
Exactly. and that actually is part of the thing, right?
No, they purposefully make them so obnoxious so you can't, that no one wants to read them.
That's right. No, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I got distracted by the
sorry.
comments. No, that's exactly right. Is those terms of service, that all that legalese is not an accident. They don't want you reading it. That itself, I want you to just sort of consider for a second. That itself is a level of manipulation. Okay? It's that kind of thing I'm talking about. It's not obvious. You don't think about it that way. You go, it's so complicated. Who could do that? But you don't think about the purposeful intent of that they want you to sign up and be part of this without really understanding what you're signing up for. That's not an accident, you know, just like it isn't in Scientology. They got all these legal documents you got to sign before they'll let you go on services, and you got to jump through hoops. You know, these are not accidents. They are manipulative efforts to control your attention, control your time. And really it's about attention control, because it's an attention economy. Okay, so there you go on that. And yeah, but as far as Twitter being more addictive, I hear you. I get it. Everybody's going to have different experiences. And I do have to say, of course, and preface everything we talk about here with, you know, everybody's going to have a different experience and a different perception of that experience. I'm just trying to point out that there's some things you might not know about this stuff. And looking into it, you might go, oh, I hadn't thought about it that way. And then you sort of see things from a little bit of a different, manipulation, coercive control, isolation, you know, controlling your attention, controlling what you see, how much of that you see, these kind of things. Because it's all about advertising and getting your clicks and keeping your eyes on the page, right? And it has different effects for different people, depending on how tight the algorithms get with you and how much information they have on you. So if you're not using Facebook a lot, then odds are it's not going to be able to manipulate you as much as, say, somebody who does start getting addicted to it or starts, you know, spending more and more and more of their time. And we all know people who live on social media, and we know people who avoid it like the plague. So, you know, not everybody's experiences with this are going to be the same. But in a broad sense, we can talk about, group-wide or you know, a number of people being influenced negatively by this, and that's kind of where we're coming at on this. Yeah, I use an ad blocker too. Okay, so what were we talking about there? Violence in other countries to stop. Yeah, no, I think that was about it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think those were kind of the points I wanted to make about it. Actually, we didn't have any calls.
Yeah. Oh well.
Well, we do still have, about 10 more minutes window. If you guys want to call in, this is a call-in show. 984-214-4154. I was kind of thought my monologuing would be broken up during the show by calls. So, whatever. Oh, yes, exactly. Only whitelist the cookies you're okay with and clear your cache often. Okay, so do I whitelist the Oreos or the Chips Ahoy or the which cookies there, X-Sign? I'm kidding. Oh, we should check in last time with Seven.
Let's do Seven. Yeah.
Yes, let us check back in with our guy. Now he's fully turned his back on us at this point.
Now he's like human. No.
Yeah, and now it's a little hard to tell, but he might be looking out the window, or he might be staring at the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes he does that.
Well, it's funny because he will get that close to the wall and he'll just stare at it.
Yeah. I don't know.
I haven't been able to figure that out either.
Yeah.
It doesn't quite.
You get something out of it. I don't know what.
I've never seen a dog do that.
No, not that I can think of.
Have you guys ever seen a dog just sit and stare at the wall, like from this close? I haven't, but I've seen cats do that, and I find it fascinating. Does anybody have any explanation for that? Because I don't get it.
Jackson Galaxy probably does.
Who's Jackson Galaxy?
He's a very big like cat expert guy. He started like has a show on Animal Planet. I don't know if he still has it on there, and he's got YouTube and all this stuff. But he's always talking about different cat things. The show he did on Animal Planet was my crazy cat from hell or something like that. And it was just him going around and figuring out behavior problems with cats. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, he'd probably know the answer to that.
Probably. Okay, cool. Cool. We have a call in the queue. Let us pick this up. I believe it is. Hello, Henny.
Hi. Hey, Chris. Hey, Melissa.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Hi.
Hey, how are you doing?
Listen, the reason I'm doing good. I'm hanging in.
Good.
Like the author of the article, Lofsburg, you said her name was?
Oh, yeah.
Lofsburg?
Yes. Lily.
Yes. I feel overwhelmed also. But I'm hanging in there. Thank you for asking. And the reason you probably didn't get many calls this evening is because it's just a terrific topic, and you really covered it very well.
Oh, thank you.
It was very interesting to listen to. Thank you. No, thank you. Really, I wanted to, put in my 2 cents. I tried to delete Facebook a long time ago. And I couldn't do it. They said because I didn't have my code or I didn't remember.
Oh, right. Right.
That it would always be there.
Yep.
So it remains there. I do not go. I don't like that. I feel I'm very social, but I like my privacy also.
Yeah.
And that doesn't offer that. And it's gotten worse. It really has. And like you said, this whole thing about their internal investigation with the hate and knowing what was going on and just allowing it to continue.
Exactly.
And knowing that people were affected by it negatively, and they just don't give a shit because the bottom line is money.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a narcissist. I mean, many people are, and I could get into a whole topic. We should, by the way, about seriously how we idolize narcissists.
That's a good point, Henny. That's a really good point. That is a show topic right there.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is, because it is so pervasive, and it's not getting any better.
Nope.
Like this woman pointed out, this is just hiding things, and what's it going to come to? What does it have to come to? What is the point? I don't want to get to a point. Do you know what I mean? I want to rectify the situation before it gets to a point, which I already think we have gotten to that point, with the insurrection that went on.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so much shit,
Yes.
Really,
Yes.
It's like you say minutia. I love that word, Chris. That's what it's like. It's like diving into minutia.
Yep.
And, I'm glad that your studies is going in that direction, because I think that we really are, we're just not hip to what's going on right in front of our face.
Exactly.
Oblivious to the obvious is what I call it.
Bingo. I agree. Well, thank you, Henny. Thanks for calling in and
you're welcome.
Sharing.
Thank you. I love you guys. And hi, Seven. Happy Halloween. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your party. And I'll talk to you soon.
Awesome. Talk to you soon, Henny.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Good deal. And And happy Halloween, of course. Hope you have a good Halloween as well.
Yes.
Okay, we have another one coming in, and this is interesting. Let's pick this one up. Hello, is this Caroline?
Yes, hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yes, fine, thank you. I'm calling from Toronto, Canada.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yes. Welcome, Canuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, the reason I'm calling, I have some funny things for you. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Share, please.
I was talking with someone today, and the person told me that the Meta Facebook thingy is the mark of the beast.
Oh, right. Right. Nice.
Is the mark of the beast. It's kind of funny though. So they said that also with the COVID vaccine thing too. They said it was the mark of the beast too. Everything these days is the mark of the beast. Everything is confusing. They're kind of confusing people. Everything is the mark of the beast. The COVID-19 vaccine is the mark of the beast. And then the 5G tower is the mark of the beast. Everything is the mark of the beast.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. Next it'll be the Disney ears.
Yeah.
Will be the mark of the beast.
It's kind of confusing and funny too.
It is a little confusing, yes.
I'm sorry to laugh, you know what I mean?
No, it's good.
It's kind of getting ridiculous, you know what I'm trying to explain you? So everything is the mark of the beast.
Yes.
We don't even know which of them really is the mark of the beast. Even the vaccine passport also is
mark
the
of the
mark
beast.
of the beast.
That's right.
Oh,
Everything
yeah.
is
That's
the
right.
mark of the beast.
Well, really how it goes is I mean, this phone call is mark of the beast.
Yeah.
I mean, you get a mark of the beast, and you get a mark of the beast, and you get a mark of the beast. Yeah.
Yeah, everything is the mark of the beast. It's
That's
kind
right.
of funny and uneducated. A lot of people are putting things that they don't even know. Just because they read something somewhere, they come on social media and repeat it without out of proof. It's like this is what they're doing basically. Most channels lately, this is what they're doing.
That's right.
They don't really do a full research. They're not expert on certain things. They just come, anything they hear somewhere, they just come with their own idea. Everything is the mark of the beast. Now with the new meta, they call it a metaverse.
Yes.
Where the government gonna plug everybody in one system to live a visual, you know what I mean, visual world. And I don't think they will do something like that because it will invade people's privacy. You know what I'm trying to explain you? We have right also.
Mm-hmm.
So we have right. They're making it look like we don't have no rights.
Mm. Interesting.
Yeah, those people are making it look like we don't have no right. We cannot say no with certain of stuff. Everything we have to say yes.
Yeah.
They don't. They're spreading misinformation. This is what I think.
I would agree with you. I would agree that misinformation is certainly being spread.
They heard something somewhere. They're not expert on vaccine. They're not expert with technology.
No.
They try to compare things from the Bible to what they heard of somewhere else. They don't know nothing. Most people don't know nothing. I can say I don't know nothing.
Yeah.
Saying if I say I don't know nothing, it doesn't make me look I'm stupid. I just don't know nothing.
Well, if it's an honest remark, then saying I don't know is the best thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You know?
To be honest with someone, you say you don't know.
Exactly.
You know. So you cannot lie. It's like spreading misinformation.
Yes, exactly. And that is the problem. All right. Well, Caroline, thank you. I'm gonna have to let you go because we got to wrap up. But thank you for calling in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Have a nice day. Okay.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
No, she's nailing it. I mean, the problem is is absolutely the uncritical spreading of information. That is absolutely true. No question about it. And it is hilarious and it is goofy, but it's also, not funny. And there's a dark side to that too, right? And when we uncritically spread information, I've done it. You've done it.
Yeah.
We've all done it. Okay. I am no saint on this. And these platforms are at least now asking us before we share something, did you read the article first?
Yeah.
At least they're asking that much. But yeah, it's a problem. It's definitely a problem. I do not subscribe to Skeptic Magazine. But I have read it. It is a good magazine, but I'm not subscribed to it. I'm not subscribed to any magazine, I don't think.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Okay, so quote. You have a quote.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, and you're asking me about the Dune movie. Do your quote first, and then I'll answer that. Yeah.
All right. So I liked this one. It's a Ralph Waldo Emerson one, and it's kind of about change in persons and stuff. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be.
Huh.
Yeah, I like that one.
Like
there isn't, a destiny. It's like you get to decide. I'm going to be this. I'm going to go do this. Nobody else gets to decide that.
Oh my goodness, that's a good quote.
Yeah.
I want you guys to think about that quote and get back to us next week on that. I think that'd be interesting. The new Dune movie, we did see it.
It was okay.
Okay, I'll say this. Let me say this right off. It's worth seeing.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's worth experiencing. It's worth getting the big screen experience of it. Okay? If it's visually stunning.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
There's nothing wrong with the special effects.
No. Production value's out the roof.
Yeah.
Story, was never great to begin with. And it kind of to me, the rendering of this movie highlighted the weaknesses of the story rather than covered them up or patched them up or somehow maneuvered past them. Instead, it kind of blew them all up. And almost literally from the first shot, I was asking questions to the information it was giving me, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. And this is in the first 5 minutes, and I've read the books. So I thought, okay, yeah, this is really not what it could have been, at least as far as I was concerned. And I'm a big story guy, as you guys know. So I thought it could have been done a little bit better. In a not so dissimilar way, actually, to Blade Runner 2024, which Denis Villeneuve also directed and was overseeing the story direction of. So I thought that he is a visually arresting, amazing, cinematography-wise, production values-wise, the guy is brilliant at filmmaking. Stories, not so much there, and it's not. There's contradictory things. There's unexplained things. There's issues. So that was my take on Dune in a nutshell. It's worth a lot more of a commentary. It's not a bad movie as far as movies go. Like I said, it's worth seeing. If you're at all interested in it, go check it out. But but you're gonna leave if you haven't read the books, you're gonna leave with more questions than you had. Than answers. And if you have read the books, I think you're going to be kind of disappointed no matter what. So don't know. That's my take on it. But like I said, I got nothing on people liking it, enjoying it, having fun with it.
Yeah, some people like it.
Yeah, I'm not in those. I don't have that attitude anymore as a movie critic or moviegoer or whatever that, just because I don't like something, everybody else shouldn't like it.
Right.
I don't care, But that's my take on it. Okay, guys. So I guess we should start wrapping up. Let us do our card for. Actually, these are cards for humanity. These are not cards against humanity. These are cards for humanity. These are critical thinking cards, which we go over each week. to pull up a random logical fallacy or cognitive bias and share it with you guys, so we get to call ourselves slightly educational as a channel here. So what do we got this week, baby?
Oh, I grabbed 2. Let's do self-serving bias.
All right, self-serving bias. So clearly this is a bias that people could have, a filter through which they see things. Self-serving bias. You believe your failures are due to external factors, yet you're personally responsible for your successes. Okay, little Scientology bias here, actually, because this is something that all cultists heavily engage in. Many of us enjoy unearned privileges, luck, and advantages that others don't. It's easy to tell ourselves that we deserve these things, whilst blaming circumstances when things don't go our way. So that is a fairly common self-serving bias. Yes. All right, so maybe watch for that this week. And there we go. Hey, thanks, guys. Thanks for all your feedback. This is awesome stuff. Yeah, hoping that Ghostbusters movie comes out. I actually have the should I say it? I guess I will.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I got the Lego model of the Ecto-1.
Yeah.
Of the Ghostbusters car that this next movie is based on. So I'm looking forward to the movie coming out. Hopefully, cross my fingers, it'll be good.
Yeah.
And with that, let's go ahead and wrap up. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for the super chats. Super, super appreciated. And of course, we could always use, more, because I gotta get a new laptop, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, all that being said, thanks for coming around, and watch the podcast tomorrow. I think you guys are gonna like it. And then Q&A as usual on Sunday. All right. And there we go. Bye-bye.
Good night.